of the places, I think. So I'll give you a minute to come on. I lost the internet. So I'm not really sure why I lost internet at that moment. And it seemed like, in fact, my Wi-Fi connection wasn't working. Not my Wi-Fi, but my hardwired connection wasn't working. So I see a couple of people are back. A few more people are back. I'm going to hang in here as long as you guys keep coming back, because this has truly been the live from hell. So I am deciding that tomorrow I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I won't do this one thing I was going to do. But I think right now I'm going to. I think I'm actually going to put a pre-recorded video up and we'll stream it out. Because I can kind of do that so we won't have all these hiccups and I'll have one day to rest my nerves. Okay, hi Jackie. So Jackie, and hi Marilyn, exciting things are happening. Yes, I see a lot more people coming on. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you hanging with me during this nightmare of a live. One part was sort of my fault, though I did test the setup and it worked out okay. It didn't put the power out, but I must have not checked something else. And then we lost internet. I am back. I've been trying to come back, so I'm actually back on Wi-Fi instead of wired in because I'm having an issue with my router that I'm plugged into. So the quality may get significantly less, but at least I'm not just ending in the middle of a sentence. So I figured that was better than nothing. So if you guys have some questions, I'm all about the questions. But we're about to be done with this, and I'd like you to kind of see it. Okay, so see how they've kind of gotten golden brown? And see how they're getting dry. So if I keep cooking them, they will get drier and more whitish. But at some point, then it just seems like little crunchy bits instead of like little chickeny strips. Like this one may be close to, yeah, I wouldn't want to go any until it looks whiter than that or more crunchy than that, because then it's just not that much fun to eat. And so you can see I've got a lot of that breading down in here, so it is going to have to be washed really well. So a couple of things about baskets like this. Oh, I like that. Helene says this is all part of the charm. Helene, you must be back on a different page now that I can see your name. Okay, so when you have a basket like this, you can shake it. So, and that kind of moves the things around. So sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I may still have some of these guys, some tongs. And I think tongs are really important to have with an air fryer. Easy to flip things over or to grab things out, even if you're using a toaster oven. So if you're new and you were not in the old live, when we were doing, I don't know, we had lights and sound and internet and all the things, and then we didn't have lights, and then we got back on and we didn't have internet. So what we made and what you're seeing right here is southern fried soy curls. So we've taken some soy curls that are dry. They're non-GMO soybeans. Oh, that's bad again. We reconstituted them in some water. You could use broth if you wanted to. And then we pressed most of the moisture out. We left some moisture in. A, you can't get it all out. B, we wanted it to stick our dry coating so it would make these kind of chicken tender-like effect. And so to make the coating, I used a 1/4 cup of finely ground cornmeal. So you don't have to do anything special, but if you have real coarse cornmeal, which makes delicious cornbread, it's going to be too gritty on this and it's going to be unpleasant. But you could use oat flour, you could use whole wheat flour, you could use brown rice flour, you could use just about any flour that you want to instead. We used about a teaspoon of poultry spice, a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning. Both of those were without salt. Then we added in about a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked salt and some black pepper. And then we mixed that all together, the dry mix. We took the wet soy curls in there and the coating just sticks to it. It didn't need oil or anything else. Then we put them in the air fryer for probably about 6 or 7 minutes. I'm going to call it 6 to 8 minutes because even when I was running around, these were cooking in there. Okay. I know, Joanne's on YouTube now. I know, it's been a crazy day. This is probably the craziest just straight up live I've ever had. I did have a class that went kind of crazy recently because I had 4 Instant Pots plugged in, and the 8-quart pulls more from the circuits than I expected. But anyhow, do you guys have any questions about these? This week I'm going to do air fryer recipes. Hint, tomorrow night I may be putting out a live, but I think I'm going to stream a recording that I have and just take a deep breath. I could change my mind by tomorrow, but just know I'm leaving that there on the table for an option, because going live for 31 days, because like we've got the restream down, we've got the internet down, or we did until it just magically went away, and some other things. So I'm just feeling a little tired right at the moment, but I feel good because I'm going to have a yummy dinner. What we're going to serve these over is some mashed potatoes, and I'm going to make a golden gravy. So I'm going to toast some oat flour, put some nutritional yeast and some poultry seasoning, probably a little smoked salt and pepper, just like I did for these, not necessarily the same amount. So I'm going to toast the oat flour until it goes from smelling like oats until it smells just a little nutty. Then I'm going to add water. So if I wanted to make a creamy gravy, I could use the non-dairy, unsweetened, plain non-dairy milk of my choice. But if I'm making it like a chickeny golden gravy, often I just use water, because then that gives it that kind of golden color instead of the creamier color. Oh, Marilyn says, deep breaths and rest are good things. I know. I'm like, how early exactly is too early to go to bed? I'm thinking because it snowed, that means I can go to bed at any time I want. It's probably not even snowing anymore. Awesome. Let's see. Anybody else have some questions? Gluten-free panko. Yeah, you can totally use gluten-free panko. I save my gluten-free panko because panko is a breadcrumb that you can't make yourself. All the other breadcrumbs you can make, like gluten-free regular breadcrumbs, I can make those myself. Panko breadcrumbs, actually, they run an electric current through something. It's a Japanese process. And so I hold on to those for things like fried pickles, which we may make some this week. I was trying to decide if I was going to do all dinners, and now I'm like, let's have some snacks in there. And let's see, what do we got here? And Diane says, hi from cold and windy Florida. Can you use canned corn for the atole instead of frozen corn? I have never made it with canned corn, but I suppose you could. I would just be worried that it would be a little less sweet. However, there is sweet canned corn. If that's what you've got, I'd try it. Just make sure you drain it and maybe rinse it a little bit to get some of the salt off if there's salt in it. That's what I would do, and you could still use it for the atole. And the butterfly flag likes to drizzle California balsamic hickory vinegar on them, and I'm assuming them are the soy curls. That would be delicious too. And you don't have to put a crispy coating on them. You can use them really in anything that you want to do. Yeah, and then atole. Got it, Diane. And Christine is here from Fargo, North Dakota. That's awesome. I don't think I know anyone who lives in North Dakota, and now I do, so I feel fancy. Okay, and someone's from Oregon and loves soy curls. Okay, and Joanne says the Trader Joe's canned corn is fantastic. So then, yes, if she's had it, I trust Joanne's taste buds implicitly. So I would give it a go. I really do like to make it in the fall with the last of that really sweet, ripe corn. That's my favorite. But you know what? In February, we don't have those options. So I think it's perfectly fine. Do you guys have any questions about any other recipes? Because last week we made all kinds of things. So last week was holiday drink week. So we made gingerbread infused maple syrup. So you could use it as a syrup, or you could like drizzle it on apples or pears that you cooked and poached or something yummy like that. We did a cinnamon dolce syrup. We did a slow cooker hot chocolate. We did a vegan white hot chocolate. We did a vegan cold foam cold brew coffee. I made a peppermint mocha frappuccino, and we made the atole. Today, which is day 7 of Vlogmas, but day 1 of air fryer week, we made Southern style air fried soy curls. So if there's something also you're interested in trying to make in your air fryer, now's a really good time to ask some of those questions as well. So like, it's really good for heating things up. So like if you want to heat up veggie burgers, if you do things like frozen fries and things like that, they work amazing in here. Any of the Jardin products work awesome in the air fryer. Oh, I'm blocking my own book. There we go. So in vegan cooking in your air fryer, so if you are SOS, if you don't do any oil at all, so far for me, it's been impossible to find frozen French fries without any oil. But I do have a recipe so you can make a batch of these French fries and freeze them yourselves. It is a lot of work, so everyone thinks the first thing they're going to do in their air fryer, they're going to make French fries and they're going to make potato chips and they're going to live the high life. But like, so there's difference. Like you can cut up potatoes in little cubes and roast them in here, and they are amazing, and they take so little effort. But with French fries, if you want a proper French fry, you have to blanch them, then you have to dry them, then you have to put some like potato starch on them, and then you have to fry them again, you know, so there's a lot into it if you want it to be just like a French fry. And while an air fryer makes things wonderfully crispy, and it does have a fan in here that's blowing everything around, and it really helps mimic some of the tendencies of air frying, you can't do something like a super thin drippy batter. So like a tempura batter hits the oil and seals immediately. What's going to happen is it's going to bake and all of it's going to fall off to the bottom. So typically when we're using a batter in an air fryer, we're using a thicker batter, letting it cook on one side, turning it over. Usually I put like a piece of parchment so it doesn't get everything icky, and then I let it cook, and then I turn it over, peel off the parchment, and then let the other side cook. So that's something else you could think about with that. Cauliflower wings? Sure. And if you look, I believe it was on Plant-Based Instant Pot Facebook page, and it should be on my YouTube channel as well. I did do a cauliflower po' boy, which is really pretty much the same as this. And you could just toss it with some buffalo, like some hot sauce. And if you wanted to use vegan butter, because it's just hot sauce and vegan butter is what makes buffalo chicken. So you could, and with my, the same way we kind of took all the water out of this and used the water that was already in here, with the cauliflower not having any water, right? I use a little bit of Tabasco and some non-dairy milk. So you could just easily mix up your buffalo sauce, toss your cauliflower in there. If you wanted to, you could roast it a little bit and then toss it in in the stuff that's going to stick and make it kind of crunchy. Or you could do it all together. It just depends on how crispy you like your cauliflower, how much bite you want in it. So when I'm doing it for the cauliflower po' boy, I'm using it to substitute for shrimp. So I want it to be a little bit tougher, but I also make sure not to have big pieces of cauliflower. I have fairly small pieces of cauliflower as well. Someone said steak. I don't know if it's in the new one. In the old vegan slow cooker cookbook, I make seitan steak and gravy. And actually there's a picture. Let me see if I can find that. I've like ran off camera so many times. I know you guys don't care. At least you get to see the kitchen. You can look at the cool things above my Oh no, you can't look at the cool things above that. Let me see if I can find the picture for the steak. Because I know someone's just ribbing me, but this picture of the steak looks creepy. It looks so much like steak. And the photographer was mentioning that a lot. Can you guys hear that little zzz, zzz? That is my cat snoring over here in the corner. So I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Let's see if you can see this. What do you think of that, people? So what that is it's a faux steak and gravy. So like, I'm from North Carolina originally, and so they make kind of, they take kind of ground meat or regular meat, put it in flour and stuff, and put a gravy on it. In the South, they're going to put a gravy on it. And this cooks in together. So it's actually seitan, which it's made with vital wheat gluten, which since I can't have gluten anymore, I can't have it. But you can make a lot of meat substitutes with that are really hearty. I think it tasted pretty good. I mean, I miss seitan, so I really like seitan a lot. But like also, just like anything else, like if we just made soy curls and we didn't put anything yummy on it and we just reconstituted with water, it's not going to taste like much. We'll need a good sauce. But that has some gravy on it too, so, you know, an individual taste. You may or may not like it, but I haven't had anyone not like the soy curls or not like the cauliflower queso. You're in Ontario. Oh, and you have both those cookbooks. So you have the air fryer cookbook and the slow cooker cookbook. There's a new slow cooker cookbook. It's revised. So there's like maybe 10 or 15 new recipes in it. And the photos are really beautiful and stunning now compared to what they were. Because this book is 12 years old. And do I have, yeah, I've got the other one over here too. So if you were trying to decide which one to get, I would get the new one. And honestly, if the steak isn't in here, if there's a recipe that isn't in here that you want, just contact me. You can contact me at kathyhester@gmail.com. But here, we'll move this up so you guys can kind of see some of these pictures. There's in my Fair Winds books, there still aren't pictures for every recipe, but see how it's just much more modern. It looks like the rest of my books now, and I like that a lot. And I make breads in the slow cooker. I don't know what, we shouldn't even be talking about the slow cooker. We should be looking at the air fryer, I guess. Pizza, we'll do that. But like, I added some jackfruit recipes in here. And Nancy's, let me see if I can find, I can't remember if we made a picture for Nancy's recipe. Okay, let's see what we got. Do I recommend having both? Let's see, let's go back. Have an air fryer convection oven, and that's great. And so I have the Breville. I am seeing that some new ovens, like big giant ovens, have air fryer settings. I've not tried that yet. And so Joanne said when the power was out at the island, it made the kitchen and the windows look very inviting and cozy. Thank you. Thank you, kitchen, for taking care of everyone for me. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. You can find soy curls on Amazon or from Butler Foods. And if you find them, I'm not sure if this made a whole new recording somewhere else. I'm assuming it did. And if it did, it doesn't have all the links, but if you, wherever you are, if it's on YouTube or anything else, if you look one back, I've got links to the air frying class that's coming up, soy curls, air fryers. And if you want to look at my classes, you can go to kathyhester.podia, podia.com. And there was no, do I recommend having both? So I need to know a little more information, both of what? Both cookbooks, both So we've got the soy curls. Yeah, and Butler's is the name of the company. Butler's. So you can order them directly from Butler's or Amazon. Totally up to you. And she's in Indiana. It is in the Pacific Northwest. So I don't have any places that I can buy Butler's soy curls where I live in North Carolina either. So I just get them online. The new ovens with the air fryer looks awesome. It does, but okay, I will tell you this too. So this is kind of a large egg kind of Instant Pot. And let's see, can you guys see the Breville back there? Let me move that. Yeah. So the Breville is larger, but it also means the cooking times take longer. So I would assume when we're taking the Breville and then we're making it into a whole oven, even with the air fryer, I would be interested in knowing how much cooking times change. We do a lot of reheating in the Instant Pot and the air fryer, and the Breville. The Instant Pot air fryer and the Breville air fryer. There we go. Too many things on my mind. Oh, hi, Diane. Thank you for the love. Okay, and this person has both slow cooker cookbooks and not the air fryer cookbook. And Outrageous Oatmeals. And Outrageous Oatmeals is one of my favorite cookbooks, and it's the one that's out of print. But if you're interested in getting Outrageous Oatmeals, you can go get it over at virtualvegfest.com. And not only that, but you can put a little note and I can sign it to you. It actually comes from our very own house. So that's something cool. And we have a couple of other cookbooks. I think we've run out of some, and I'm not sure which ones are still in there and which ones are done. But if Helene is around, she might give us a clue. And, oh, thank you. Someone said they purchased my cookbooks and they're waiting on time to test recipes. And don't forget, you guys, I have a private Facebook group called Vegan Recipes, Cooking with Kathy Hester. So there's about 7,500 people there, super sweet, nice people like Joanne and Marilyn that you're hearing talk to now. And you can just go in there and ask different questions about things if you end up being stuck or if you want some ideas. It's just a really nice community. If you want to be on my mailing list to either get when I do new recipes or have a class or something like that, if you're signing up to be in the group, you have a place that you could put your email. Or you could just go to healthyslowcooking.com or plantbasedinstantpot.com and just join the mailing list that way too. It's totally up to you. Convection oven air fryer and a regular air fryer. Do you need both? Since I haven't tried the convection oven air fryer that I've only seen recently, I can't really tell you. But if you have one, honestly, I would probably try to make do with it. If you find that you're unhappy with it, like something like the Go Wise, like I think it's 5.8 quarts-ish, or this Instant Vortex, those should be less than $100. So it's up to you. So because I do cookbooks, I end up with extra air fryers. So I've given away probably 3 air fryers, and some of those aren't made anymore. And now it went from like the same thing with like Instant Pot. It was like everybody was 6 quarts. There were 2 different kinds I could try, to like now there's 60,000 electric pressure cookers. I'm glad I'm back too, Diane. This has been a very exciting roller coaster of many, many different kinds of proportions. And Cheryl just got home. Lucky Cheryl. She's going to have to deal with me when all this is over. I don't know did you see all the debacle?
I know that the power went out because Helene texted me when I was on my way home.
I'm so sorry for laughing. So Helene, who I just mentioned on Virtual Veg Fest, she runs Virtual Veg Fest, texted Cheryl that I had a technical issue. That's awesome. You guys, you know what? No matter how bad or horrible and hellish a day can be or a life can be, you guys just bring me back to being a normal, happy person. If the internet hadn't come back on, though, I was seriously getting ready to like take a glass of wine and just crawl into bed. So it saved all of us, even though we're on Wi-Fi right now. So And Marilyn loves the outrageous book. Do you guys have any other questions? We got about 3/4 of everybody back. I don't know how that happened. All I have to do is tell you how thankful I am, A, that you listened to me talk all the way down to the fuse box and back a couple of times. You enjoyed the cozy, warm version of my not-so-lit kitchen. You guys are just the most awesome. So if nothing else, I'm very, very thankful that each one of you hangs out with me on a regular basis because you're the best. You just really are. Oh, thank you, Cindy. Cindy says I'm a wonderfully positive person. You wouldn't have thought that when the internet was down if you could have seen me. And there might have been some Cheryl. Cheryl.
Did the internet go down when the
Nope.
power went out?
Nope, that was another time. I come back on, got everything started back, and then the internet went down. Sorry, I'm telling Cheryl too. Yeah, no, this has been like the most exciting day. So, class also changed my mood tonight. Yeah, and I know a lot of us too are kind of getting a little bit like, well, things are getting bad out there pandemic-wise again, and I know a lot of people are getting under state orders to quarantine and things again. And in fact, I'm kind of voluntarily doing it. I thought I could slip out and go to Sprouts today while I was out, and it wasn't so bad, but I also don't want to go back out again for a while. I just feel like people aren't taking things seriously enough around here. So, but I'm going to be here. You guys are here. So you may have already talked me out of like posting the pre-recorded air fryer thing I was going to do tomorrow. I'll do it. We'll just see. I'll make sure Cheryl checks all the wires. I had even checked the air fryer where it was plugged in originally before I went live. Cheryl's not going to believe me, but that's okay.
I believe you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think exactly. So, someone is saying, my friend received an air fryer as an add-on with an appliance that she purchased that she never used it. It still tapes shut. Dun, dun, dun. She just purchased a convection oven, so she gave me her air fryer last week. Woo! I don't even know where this is going yet, but I'm happy for you. I've never used an air fryer before, and I'm looking forward to using it in the class this weekend. Yay! By the way, it's only 34 degrees in Windsor. Oh, this must be Linda. Is this Linda Fowler? It's only 34 degrees, and I wish I was down south even without power. No, I think it was been in the 30s because we had snow. I don't know if you guys heard in the beginning, like there was snow. Like I held up my hand and the snow did not immediately melt. I don't think it's still happening.
No, but it happened just long enough to cause many, many accidents.
Well, as soon as I saw it, I told Cheryl to start coming home. And that was like 2.5 hours ago. So she didn't.
It's a good thing I delayed. Okay,
well, let's have this conversation, not live. We may have to have a little, chat about things. Those of you that live with other people know exactly what's going on here. Awesome. Well, that's so awesome. But yeah, having an air fry can be really good. Now, some of them are teeny, teeny, tiny and can barely fit a piece of bread. And you can still do some stuff with that too. But like if you have an air fryer, you eat pizza, because there's vegan gluten-free pizza, people. That's what we heat our pizza up in. If you're reheating food, it heats really well and it heats very fast. So it's kind of a great way to use it too if you just have one lying around. It's also great to do corn in, to roast root veggies, cubed, to do all kinds of things. You can even roast your broccoli in there. Ooh, Marilyn says it's been 28 in Louisiana. That's really cold. Okay, and Linda says the air fryer is huge. Okay, guys. I think I'll end with what we were starting with. We'll look at these lovely soy curls that managed to survive the turmoil that was tonight. But we had a good time. And so see, look how yummy. And so what I'll do, because they are obviously cold now, But see, you can see on the inside too. See how it really kind of tears apart a lot like chicken does. And you could dip those in ketchup or barbecue sauce or smother them in gravy like I'm going to do. But again, the gravy I'm making is oil-free. And a lot of you who are in class, for the Thanksgiving class, I made those holiday tofu slabs in the air fryer, right? And then we smothered it in gravy. It's going to be really, really similar. And if you don't eat soy, you could use cauliflower. You could use chickpeas and coat them up and make little crispy chickpeas like this that you could put on salads or soups and things like that. There's just so many different things you can do with the coatings. So you guys know I'm always inclusive. So if you have a special dietary need as far as like an allergy or something that you can't eat that I've included, just let me know and I'll try and get an alternative for you. Let's see if there's any. Awesome. I would love it if you got my air fryer cookbook. I don't, Cheryl, we don't have any air fryer cookbooks up on Virtual Veg Fest, do we?
We might be sold out.
There might be one, but we might be sold out is what Cheryl just said. I think we're...
I have some.
Nope, so we do have some of the air fryer cookbooks. So if it's not on Virtual Veg Fest and you want a signed copy, we'll put it on Virtual Veg Fest. I just think it would be there, yeah?
It should be.
It should be on Virtual Veg Fest. So if not, contact me and we'll put it up so that way you can get it really easily. Okay, and there should be a little thing that says, do you have any notes? And if you want me to sign something to a specific person, just let me know the name, or if you want me to say something specific. Okay? So I think that's all for tonight. It's all I can handle. I'm going to go make some mashed potatoes and gravy and greens and sit down in front of the fire and have a relaxing dinner. So have a wonderful day, and I will announce when I'm going live at least an hour or two before I go live. I'm not sure if I'm making lunch or dinner yet. Okay? Have a wonderful night. Whatever's going on, just like my night, it just passes and then things are okay. All right? So take care of yourself and be very safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.